How are you?
She's put you off again. Stephen, it's a disappointing result, but is it fair to say that's not a Stephen Pressley side that you want to see today?
Well, there was elements around it that I was pleased with. You know, I thought we had a good shape around us, but I felt in possession we were nervous and we turned the ball over on too many occasions. As a result of that, we actually defended a lot more than I'd have liked us to do. For the group of players, you know, I did see some green shoots. I saw some good performances today with certain players, but we are still a long way away from where we need to be. And we also have to consider that we're playing against a Hibernian side who, you know, are quite long into their journey. So I'm realistic. You know, it's not what I want. It's far from the final product, but there were certain things that I liked about us today, and especially after going 2-0 down and we're a little bit nervous in the performance, we showed good resilience.
Why do you think they were nervous?
I don't know. I think just at this moment in time we have a lot of younger players that haven't got a great deal of experience behind them, and that will have to learn to adapt and grow in confidence. And that will only come with time on the training ground, a lot of hard work, and also playing games of football.
As you try and bring in more players, you've got to try and get something out of this group, you know, over the next 3 or 4 weeks until you get other players in that you want. What did you say to them at the end? Can you be too critical without sapping some of the confidence out of them?
I said what I said to you guys, that I do believe there was some green shoots there. I do believe that in our defensive principles we did a lot of good things. I felt when we lost the goal, it was a time where we'd actually been quite comfortable within the game. But the part that disappointed me was in possession. I felt that we turned it over unopposed on too many occasions when I felt we had better choices. So that was the real disappointment. As a result of that, we end up defending a lot more.
The goals you conceded as well, was it frustrating the manner in which they came, you know, close balls and stuff?
Yeah, it's disappointing because, as I said, I thought until that point that we'd nullified Hibs' threat, but against good teams, if you give them an opportunity as we did, then they punish you. So that was disappointing. But there were some really good performances. I thought young Luke Graham, I thought he was outstanding today. I've talked about him in the past, and I really thought today he came of age. He's a really good young player, and you know, he was one of a number that I thought acquitted themselves really well.
Honestly, a captain today, but do you need a bit more in the final third in terms of the score?
Listen, pre-game I spoke about this, that almost every single goal from the team of last season was not there today. You know, and it's a big rebuild. I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. This is where we are. There's a lot of hard work ahead, but within that I saw players that wanted to work hard, that wanted to do well. But I also know that we need reinforcements. We probably need another 6 players in to bolster the squad, and it's a real challenge.
You saw some pundits, probably you might have never saw them, but pundits tipping you at the weekend for relegation. Does that just fire you and your dressing room up?
I think it's natural. I think when you look at the changes that's happened at the club, when you look at where we are in the recruitment and the progress, I think it's natural for people to tip us. You know, and we're not going to shout about it. The only way we can prove it is by getting results and improved performances, and we'll certainly be working hard towards that.
Can you use that though as motivation?
I already have.
Yeah. Bearing in mind the type of player you were, and this team's shipped 77 goals last season, is that what you've been working on the most? Organisation, defensive qualities, and obviously trying to recruit defenders?
Yeah, we've worked hard on that, but we have worked hard on the defensive aspects of the game. And as I said, I did see some good defensive principles today. I saw also some good defensive performances today. But the big thing is, the area of growth is the belief in ourselves. We must start believing we're good players. I thought we lacked a little bit of that today, and we obviously have to work hard to installing that.
You mentioned fitness. Would you like to have seen a higher press in the second half with them?
I felt that the issue around that is that we're playing in a certain way. I've talked about this, about putting round pegs in round holes, trying to find the right balance just now. Even the substitutions just now were a challenge to try and find the right solutions around the substitutions. But I felt that we lacked the quality in possession that forced us into being deep more than I'd have liked. I was comfortable without, not having the ball at times, but it was when we had the ball, we have to do better.
When do you expect to get Simon back?
I don't know. The truth is that we obviously would hope for Rangers, but if that's too quick, the one positive thing is that we have the international break that gives us an opportunity, and hopefully if it's not the weekend, it'll be certainly after the international break.
You got the expected welcome from Hibs fans. Is it good to be back in the heat of Scottish football for the first time?
It is. I obviously enjoyed that today. Not the result, but being back in amongst it. Yeah, good.
Just
Stephen, thank you.
Thanks.